Can anybody give me a definition of Title IX? If not, it's okay. So according to the title itself, no person in the United States shall, on the bias of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any educational program or activity that receives financial federal assistance. This means that Archbold, the school you all go to, there is to be no base bias on sex. Now, whether Archbold abides by this law is really ultimately up to you. Now, you might be thinking, Tess, what is Title IX? Well, it was signed by President Nixon on June 23rd, 1972. It applies to schools, local and state educational institutions that, again, receive this federal funding. This includes a vast 17,000 local school districts all across the United States. This protects recruitment, admissions, and financial assistance at school institutions. More commonly, it protects athletics, the treatment of pregnant and parenting students, as well as the treatment of LGBTQ+ students in schools. Now, many of you think that Title IX really only matters in sports. That's, however, not true. The signing immediately resulted in higher percentages of females going to college. In 1970, 2 years before Title IX was signed, 11% of women went to college. In 1972, just 2 years after, and the year of Title IX, 30% of women went to college. Now, recently, in 2021, 58% of all college undergrads were actually women. Now, transgender bathrooms become implemented by the Obama administration because his administration thought that same-sex or biased sex bathrooms, more commonly known as men and women bathrooms, were a violation of Title IX. Now, this was immediately revoked by the Trump administration following his inauguration. The court created an implied private right of action. This means that a person or a student or any citizen can file a lawsuit against educational institutions where they feel have violated their Title IX rights. Now, Title IX does greatly impact female athletics as well. And it does not just benefit female athletics. Inequality happens to men and women. President Ford exclusively enforced Title IX equality in athletics in 1975, and before that, athletics for females were definitely put on the back burner. In athletics, officials and administration have this sort of technique called leapfrogging, which means they take a long series of very small steps, and which means that they ultimately do not get done. These small steps have to rely on each other. While interviewing Julie Nofziger, my grandma, she informed me that the Ohio High School Athletic Association had the very first volleyball state-sponsored tournament in 1975. Archbold went to that state tournament, as well as Montpelier from around here. Volleyball, basketball, and softball, and cheerleading were all and only sports for women in Archbold High School at that time. Shar Sharp was actually the coach of all of them. Opportunities for boys' participation increased by 7,000 boys after the signing of Title IX. However, interscholastic opportunities for girls increased by a whopping 135,000 females after the signing of Title IX. After 1972, roughly 3.6 million boys participated in sports. However, that number is still 265,000 participants larger than the amount of girls playing in 2019. Title IX has definitely paved the way for women to achieve a valued education and give girls the same equal chance as boys to represent their school in an athletic competition. I know that I really love sponsoring and representing my school out on the softball field. Title IX has been changing and shaping the way that equality is handled in the United States and even in our small Northwest Ohio town. Thank you. Yeah.